Hey CWA family, I am April Jackson, beautifully and wonderfully made, and I am your craft tutor. Today we are going to sublimate the 20-ounce glass can tumblers. HTV Ront sent me these tumblers. It comes in a 4-pack, as you can see. And so we're gonna sublimate one today. So they come in these cute little boxes. And I went on Creative Fabrica to get the design. So I actually linked that design in the description below, so that way if you want to use that same design, you can go and grab the design as well. So let's pull our tumbler out, and it comes with the bubble wrap. It also comes with the a straw and a cleaning tool to be able to clean your straw, so that's a good thing. It has the bamboo lid. All right, so let's sublimate. All right, so here we are on Creative Fabrica. I will put the link below. They have thousands of designs, fonts that you can use for Cricut or Sublimation. They just have a lot of designs, and they also have a 1-year subscription where it's only $47. So I do suggest that you get the 1-year subscription, but if you don't and you just get them individual, like this design that we're doing today, it's only 60 cents. So the prices are really good, even if you buy them individually. But like I said, the 1-year subscription is really worth the money. Like I said, it's only $47. I will put the link in the description if you want to go on Creative Fabrica and grab this design or sign up for the 1-year subscription. All right, now that we have picked our design, I'm going to print it from Silhouette Studio, which is where I print all my sublimation designs. All right, so this is our design printed out. We're going to use our handy dandy scissors and cut around the design. Well, first of all, because it's a tumbler cup, we want to cut it down to size anyway. But even when I do t-shirts, I still cut around the designs, because you just never know when you may have ink on some of the edges and you don't see it. So I just like to always just cut around to make sure. And if you get one of those paper cutters, they sell them at like Walmart. I know they sell them at Walmart. They sell them at like the craft stores. They work really well. But I just use my handy dandy scissors for now. I had one myself before, but then I broke it and I just never bought another one. So I just use my handy dandy scissors for now. I think I'm gonna get another one because it do make it much easier. So this is how it looks after we cut it. I'm gonna take our lid off, and if you have an alcohol pad, you can use an alcohol pad to wipe around it, or alcohol wipes. You just want to wipe it, or either like a what are those cloths called? You just get the lint, like a lint cloth, to wipe off, just to make sure you're wiping off all the excess lint. Because just because you don't see anything, that doesn't mean it's not there. And with sublimation, it definitely will show up if it's there. So let me find something to clean this off really quick, and then we're going to sublimate our image. All right, so now that we have our glass cleaned off, we're gonna get our heat tape. And I like to go ahead and pre-cut my strips of tape, so that I could just grab them as I'm wrapping the wrap around the tumbler. So I'm just gonna cut off a little bit. I just do a few. Well, I am a tape girl, so I do a little more than a few. And sorry, y'all can see the ring light in my glasses. I had to close the blinds for a minute, so I'm just using my ring light right now. I hope you all are having a great, amazing day. I love to say amazing day. If you have never subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel, and please also like this video, share it with your family, your craft friends. And if you have questions, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below. No question is a dumb question. So please, please, please ask your questions. All right, so we have our tumbler. And like I said, we have our sublimation wrap here. We're gonna call it our sublimation wrap now because we've cut it down to size. So we're gonna wrap it around. I like to always wipe it off because sometimes it be little, I guess depends on the printer, I don't know, but sometimes it be little flakes on the image and you don't see it. So you just have to be extra careful with sublimation, because you just never know. Just never know. All right, so if you've ever wrapped a regular sublimation 20-ounce tumbler, it's basically the same thing. I like to turn mine upside down, and I wrap the wrap around. Now when I wrap it, you might want to cut off some of the excess. Like mine, I'm gonna cut off just a little bit. And by the way, I cut this at, let's see what size I did this. I think it was 10 by 5. Yeah, so for this 20-ounce glass can, I printed the designs at 10 by 5, but I'm gonna cut off a little of the edge on the side, because when I'm trying to wrap it around, it is going over onto the other side of the image. So I'm gonna cut the edge off just a little bit. All right, and also, like, for me, I like to wrap, even when I do my regular 20-ounce tumblers, I wrap the tumbler upside down. So make sure if you're gonna wrap the tumbler upside down, make sure you turn your image upside down as well. But if you can do it facing up, I just do mine facing down. That's just me. For me, it's easier that way. So I have it facing down. Let me get it lined up first here. And I'm one of them people that I continuously move it to make sure it's straight. Sometimes it still don't come out straight, but okay. So I started off by wrapping it down, and then I turn it over. When I get ready to tape it, I turn it over to make sure it's how I want it to be. It's lined up, because like this has the little hump right there, so I try to make sure it's good. All right, so I have it wrapped the way I want it. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our heat tape, and we're just gonna tape the seam. So I got a piece of heat tape. I like to start in the middle. You don't have to start in the middle. So I pull in the direction of the paper, of the top paper. So whichever direction the top paper is facing, that's the direction that I pull. So I have my tape on the left side. My top paper is facing towards the right, so I'm gonna pull tightly towards the right, and I like to make sure I pull tight, use my fingernail on the seam line, so I won't have any air bubbles. And we're gonna do that for the entire seam line. So I go to the top seam line next, pull tightly to the right, fingernails, like this. So, and we're gonna do it all the way down the seam line, making sure we don't have any air bubbles, because air bubbles will make you have ghosting. This is my first time actually sublimating a glass tumbler, so I'm assuming that you can still get ghosting on glass tumblers. But to be on the safe side, we're gonna try to make sure we do this like we would do with a regular 20-ounce tumbler. And I'm just going down the seam line, doing the same thing all the way down the seam line. I'm gonna have to get more tape, because like I said, I use a lot of tape, and I don't have a tumbler press. I have a mud press and a convection oven. I usually do my tumblers in the convection oven. I'm actually thinking about seeing how this will turn out if I do this in my Cricut mud press, because I do have a Cricut mud press. I'm gonna cut some more tape. All right, so now that I have my tape all the way down my seam line, I am actually going to go and put another piece of tape, just one whole strip of tape down this middle seam, and then I'm going to tape around the top seam and the bottom seam. This is the same way I tape my regular tumblers. Like I said, this is my first time doing a glass tumbler, so I'm just assuming that it will be the same way. It's trial and error, y'all learning with me. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm getting my tape and I'm going down my middle seam line. And I'm just pulling tightly down the middle seam line. Just doing it as one big piece of tape down the middle seam line. And then we're gonna do the same thing we did before. We're gonna use our fingernail to go down that middle seam line as well. All right. Boom. All right, now I'm gonna go across the top. Now I know some people are gonna be like, that's a whole bunch of tape. You don't need all that tape, because especially like when you watch your different videos and you see people barely put any tape on their tumblers. But also I noticed that the people that do that normally have a tumbler press. So if I had a tumbler press, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have to do that either. But as of right now, I don't have one, so I am going a whole lot with the tape. And by the way, I'm sorry if y'all can hear that lawnmower in the back. They're doing the lawn every Monday. In the neighborhood I live in, they come and do our lawn. So yeah, so that's how it looks across the top, and then I'm gonna do it around the bottom. And I know y'all can see my girls wrote all on the wall and the door. All on the wall and the door back there in my background. I want one of those spin brushes. Let me tell you why I haven't got it off. Because number one, I want to do a video for the show with the spin brush. Because I seen someone say that you can use Windex. That's the best thing to get crayons off a wall. And so I was like, okay. And I've been wanting a spin brush. So I was like, if I get some Windex and then get me a spin brush. And I said, I got to make a video doing it. So that's why I haven't got it off yet. I know I'm extra. All right, so now we got our tape at the bottom, and we're gonna pull. We're still pulling to, well, depending on whichever direction you pull the first time, you're gonna pull in that direction again. Then once we get back to the seam line, cross over just a little bit, we can cut it off. All right. I'm gonna use our fingernail on that seam line again. This is how it looks. And next up, we're gonna press it. So like I said, I'm trying to debate if I'm gonna press this in the Cricut mud press or if I'm gonna use it in the convection oven. That's something to think about, huh? Okay, so looking at the instructions that HTV Ront sent, it gives the option for a convection oven or a mud press. Like I said, I don't have a mud press, so we're gonna do the convection oven. And according to this, it says to preheat the oven at 400 degrees and then put the glass can in the oven for 8 minutes, turning every 2 minutes. So we're gonna do the convection oven. And it also says to put the glass can in shrink wrap. I don't have any shrink wrap, so we're gonna put some painter's tape on it for that extra security and that little extra heat and pull. All right, so I sped this part up because this is where I'm about to mess up. Do not, and I repeat, do not use painter's tape on the glass tumblers. Yes, if you're doing a regular 20-ounce sublimation tumbler and you don't have shrink wrap, you can put painter's tape on it and it'll be just fine. But on these glass tumblers, do not do it. Do not do it. All right, so this is how it looks after I have wrapped my tumbler, my glass tumbler. If y'all can hear those kids, I'm sorry. They always come through that path and be cussing and extra. But so this is how it looks. So now we're gonna preheat the convection oven. I do recommend preheating your oven, like when you get, before you even start wrapping your tumbler. Go ahead and preheat your convection oven so it can be hot when you get done, and you can just put it in and start the process of sublimating the tumbler. I wasn't even thinking about preheating the oven before because I was debating if I was going to do the convection oven or my Cricut mud press. My Cricut mud press don't take long to get hot. So like I said, we're going to do the convection oven. I have a Hamilton Beach XL convection oven, so that's what we're going to use. Oh, and don't forget, every 2 minutes, turn it. All right, so we're at our first 2 minutes, so we're going to open it up and we're going to rotate it. And that's our timer. Time to take it out. Ow, oh, I burnt my finger. Oh, that hurt. So I'm already excited that the glass didn't break because I was wondering, hoping and praying that the glass didn't break. Let me turn this timer off. And I do set a timer on my phone to let me know. Although it's a timer on the convection oven, I just like to set it on my phone so I can know like every 2 minutes where so I know when to turn. So let's unwrap it. All right, y'all, so I'm putting my heat gloves on both hands because I put one on the other hand when I was turning it each time. So here we are. We're going to unwrap it. Make sure you have on heat gloves because this tumbler is most definitely hot. Even with the heat gloves on, it's still hot. So make sure, because you will burn your hand if you do not have on heat gloves. I try to hurry up and pull the tape off because it's even hot with these heat gloves on, burning my hand. All right. Ooh, hot. I've been trying to switch hands because it's hot. Now, I'm just going to use just to pull this tape up here. Oh, it's hot, honey. I usually, oh, it's hot. I usually use a little, oh, I'm gonna have to let this cool off a little bit. Yeah, I'm hot. It's hot. All right, y'all. It's still hot, but I use the knife to cut a piece of tape. So I usually leave a piece of tape hanging so that way I could just pull it easily to be able to pull the tape off and unwrap it. I didn't do that this time. So yeah, I had to use the knife. I'm trying to hear y'all. It's hot, y'all. Hot. It's hot, and I know you probably wondering, like, it's hot while you took off the heat gloves. It's just easier for me to pull with my hand instead of with these gloves on. But I'm definitely trying to be careful with it because it's definitely hot. I'm gonna switch hands. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video and subscribe. If you want more sublimation and Cricut tutorials, please subscribe to the channel. And feel free to share. If y'all hear music in the background, it's because my son is home from school. He had the music blasting while I was making the tumbler. I was like, okay, y'all, okay, I'm about to start talking. So he turned it down a whole lot, but it ain't all the way down. Okay, I can see my fingerprints on here, so I'm definitely gonna have to wash this. All right. So this is the end result. So you can see the image. I guess because it's glass, you know, it's not as vibrant. To me, it's not as vibrant as it would be on a regular tumbler, but you can see the image. So yeah, so that's how you sublimate the glass tumblers from HCV Ront. And it could just be the design that I chose to. Maybe if you choose like a more colorful dark design, it'll show up better. But anyway, these are the how it turns out. So I think it sublimated really well. I'm glad it didn't break because I was definitely nervous that it would break. If you want to purchase these tumblers from HCV Ront, I will have the link in the description to purchase. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Thank you for crafting with April, and have an absolutely amazing day.